Martin, you were going to ask?
Well, yeah, the one issue that I have is by the way, great to have you here. I've been involved in government and city governments for over 10, 15 years. You are actually the first union representative that I've ever heard to say it's okay if we roll back some of the employees that we have. Literally, you just said you want to roll back to a through attrition.
Fit the population that we had in 2006.
I-
Match in 2006.
No, but still,
attrition.
I mean, folks, I want you to hear that. I've never heard a union official say, well, through attrition, it's okay if we roll back the numbers. And the city said, no. They want to maintain this level of force that is even above what we really need.
It's above the national average. We're at 3.1 per thousand citizens. The national average is about 2.4 or 2.6, and we're at 3.1. So we need to go back and go to the national averages. That saves the taxpayers money because we have to be fiscally responsible on all sides. We can't just sit there and excuse the pun, but be greedy little pigs and say, give us more, more, more. You will not find a police officer in West Palm Beach with more than 10 years on who's not going to tell you honestly that we have too many police officers. They will agree with you 100%. You will not find one.
That's amazing.
Well,
How many do you have? How many do you have right now? On
We
the
are
force?
budgeted for 310. We
310.
currently, I believe, we currently have 12 vacancies, and we're operating just fine with that. I mean, they're still having 30 people on a shift. It went from like 17, 18 a shift. Now we have 30 a shift.
And because the attrition population as well, you're saying that you could go back to 2006.
Our population is what it was in 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should the ratio of policemen be as it was in 2006?
That's my opinion.
Okay. And that would have been
we're
what?
willing to offer up.
Okay.
But I think 285.
185. And so the people, the union was willing to say, we're willing to go to that ratio or that amount of police, considering the loss of population in West Palm Beach. We're willing to say, hey, we can do more with less.
Yeah, and it's tough decisions, tough times. You got to police smarter. You have to do some reorganization. And the most important part of that is you keep morale up.
And let me ask
and you got morale up, your officers are happy, and they're going to perform better for you.
But let me add this. When you have fewer police, as you would say, because times are tough, and cuts have to be made, but wouldn't you prefer to have someone with more tenure, someone who has more training, than to bring someone in and then have to train a whole raft of new officers? You need people who know first the geography, they know the hard places, they know the places that are dangerous. Wouldn't that just make sense to have people that were well trained in the area?
Yes, it would. But it would. But it wouldn't affect service. The public will not be lacking service one spot by this rollback. The officers will come out in certain areas of that work, and other agencies at this time they're temporarily assigned over here or reorganize certain groups, and that would backfill the positions. But patrol would stay as strong as it always was. You're going to have just as many officers on the street.
It sounds to me, Sergeant, like you're taking and I'm not trying to ingratiate myself to you. We've just met. I wouldn't have any reason to ingratiate myself to you, but it sounds to me like what you're suggesting is a very reasonable concessions. Do you feel that it's just they are not willing, they, speaking of the city commission and the mayor in particular, are just not willing to listen, or they don't want to take the time? What is it?
I don't know. Let me give you an example. We had an impasse here we just got through. We have a surplus money that we have set aside. It's our insurance surplus money. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of $600,000 we built up. That belongs to the officers. Our intention of that money, which we raised through a minimum premium plan and positive claims history, and it's been since 2004 we established this. So now we got the $600,000. We offered that a good portion of that up to the city to fund their step plan. And in essence, if the city would have taken it, they would have made an additional $100,000 to use to fill gaps they're having to fill their surplus.
Yes.
It would be an extra $100,000 cash, and they rejected it. And I cannot figure out what business person rejects a free $100,000 just so they can turn around and say you're not getting your step plan, so your lowest paid employee can stay the lowest paid employee. I just don't. To this day, I don't understand it. We've asked the commissioners that, and we still don't understand why.
From the time you all sat down and negotiated with this independent mediator, how quickly did they come back and say, no? we're not
Oh,
gonna do
there was the special master hearing took 2 days, I believe.
Okay.
Then we had to wait for his ruling to come back. His
Right.
ruling comes back, that ruling goes to the city commission, goes to us, and goes to the city.
Okay.
Then we have what's called a special master, a special city commission hearing in front of the commissioners.
Mhm.
We presented our case to the city commission,
Yeah.
the city presented their case, and the city commission at that point makes the final ruling. Well, in my opinion, they had their decision made up before we even had that hearing.
Okay.
They already said, we're taking all this stuff away from the police, I don't care what they have to say, we don't care what the special master said, we're taking this away.
So how quickly though, once they got that information back, did they make the decision and come back and say, absolutely not? we're
Oh,
not
I
doing
think
it"?
the
Was there,
hearing was
did
probably.
they even pretend to deliberate? You can't know
I
that.
don't know. It was probably 3 to 4 weeks afterwards. And then, it really kicks me. Here's another issue I want to bring up is that we got into this meeting and they got to health insurance
Mhm.
because we took a substantial increase in our health insurance. There was a 26%, which I could pound off. Some of that was because of our claims history.
Right.
Well, then they decided that wasn't enough. We're going to increase the percentages that you have to pay for your health insurance.
Okay.
And they turn around and say, well, you know what? That's what the other employees are paying. You guys should pay it too. Those hypocrites.
Yeah.
We turned around and looked at their health insurance afterwards in a public records request. They end up having the most expensive health insurance the city offers. It's a PPO, ran through Cigna. And the top 25 department heads, along with every city commissioner, the mayor, and every city manager, get their insurance 100% free. They get 100% of it paid for by the city. Not only do they get their insurance paid for, they get all their co-pays and deductibles reimbursed to them.
But Sergeant, these are tough times.
Yeah, that's what
You've got to remember,
you gotta
these are
break
tough
it.
times.
These are the highest paid city officials who get this Cadillac health insurance
I was going to
policy.
say the Cadillac.
Uh-huh. Well, did I just hear right that their co-pays are also reimbursed
And deductibles.
and the deductible?
Yes.
So I and my family, like we have
I have $600 a year of deductibles I got to pay with, and I have a 10% copay.
and the city returns them to the commissioners and to the.
Top 25 department heads.
Wow.
So no, okay. Let me ask you this: did any of them make any gestures during the budgetary considerations or the study that they put together their budget for the new year? Was there any talk of them taking a cut or cutting back on any of the insurance, the Cadillac program, anything
Well,
like that?
apparently they were just questioned about that the other day, and now they're saying they're going to take cuts to it. It's on the chopping block, I think Ed Mitchell said. But that's kind of like getting caught and going to sex
Right.
therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's-
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know
Now that we caught us, we'll cut that. They did take a reduction in their what's called their management packages,
Okay.
which equated to I think $100 and some a month. I think it was less than $200 a month it came to,
Uh-huh.
which is peanuts compared to what they took away from us.
Yes. Yes.
And now they're taking, and the problem is, this year they're taking more away from us.
Okay.
They said
This is after the fact.
this is after the fact. We lost last year. We already took that punch in the face,
Okay.
and now they're coming back with a couple of uppercuts because now they want another 10%.